What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope you've had a great hump day. Hope you've gotten all your humping in and over the hump because it's all downhill here. 1 week from today, we will be on the road, maybe probably halfway there, maybe halfway to Indianapolis to be covering the NFL draft. I'm going to have my man Game Time, Prime Time, DMV, David Wiley. We're going to see Randy Sykes and his family and stuff there in Kansas City. Kansas City, here we come. So we have some news on Michael Irvin. And you're going to get my take on this because this thing is actually, it's a mess. It's a mess, and I think it's gone a lot further than what anybody wanted to. And I'm going to say that the NFL is caught between a rock and a hard place here. The NFL is going to have about 75 hours of coverage. 75 hours of coverage of the NFL draft. Heck, we might have 75 with the road trip that we're having. We got about 16 hours on the road, driving there, driving back. That's 32 right there. So, if we double that while we're there, 3 days, yeah, we'll probably have 72 hours of coverage here on Joe Boo Sports. But sadly, Michael Irvin will not be part of the coverage. Michael Irvin remains suspended by the NFL. Now, we don't know if he is suspended with pay or if this is one of those situations where you get paid for the event. You know what I'm saying? So there's no word out. Nobody knows if he is paid. Now, here's the problem. The NFL screwed the pooch and probably reacted too soon, but they got a problem here because they have Marriott is a corporate sponsor. When you become a corporate sponsor of the NFL, they don't do that for free. They don't do that for free. They don't say, well, we're just going to use your hotel and stuff so you can, have we're good. No. The biggest sponsor that we know, now I want you to understand that the NFL got $1.9 billion from sponsors, from their corporate sponsors. $1.9 billion. Okay? Some of them, it might be 10, 15 million. Verizon is the biggest corporate sponsor at about 300 million a year. 300 million a year. Now, with that, of course, the NFL does business with you. Okay? So when you have Marriott as a corporate sponsor, you make that your official NFL hotel. And so they will use they will be the NFL's, big hotels. So they're getting revenue from the NFL because we're putting all of our big wigs and stuff there, and you're using our name and stuff saying we're with the NFL. So because Marriott, I don't have the exact number for what Marriott's paying. It's probably not the 300 million that they're getting from Verizon, but it's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of two and a half, $250 million or so a year. Like I said, again, don't quote me on that, but they are one of the big sponsors. So the NFL doesn't want to annihilate one of their sponsors. So, when they came through them and said, Michael Irvin did this, that, and the other, the NFL is trying to protect that pile of money that they get from Marriott. And that's why they didn't really do an investigation. They basically relied on Marriott. Now, here's the problem. With them, basically, they don't want to make Marriott look bad. They don't want to make Marriott look bad, right? So if they don't want to look bad, if they end up having Michael Irvin in the broadcast, that's basically saying, Marriott, we don't believe what you came up with. Which, this is where it's kind of like one of the, is it sliding door? No, it's not sliding door. But here's the thing that's funny. Because with the NFL trying to make Marriott not look bad, right? They don't want Marriott to look bad. So they say, okay, we're going to keep it suspended because Marriott said so. So you're appeasing them, right? But here's the problem. They actually do damage to Marriott because now they're actually making the case for Michael Irvin. See, you heard my man Legal Paul. He was going through and he was talking about, things that I did that may possibly hurt Michael Irvin's case. Me showing Michael Irvin, smiling and happy and interacting with people and things like that. That they, as he put it, Marriott may put out there that he's not saddened, he's not, hurt or harmed by this, and so on. But I kind of look at it and say, yeah, that's one thing. That's actually a job because he's getting paid to do autographs. And if you're a sourpuss, nobody's going to want to get your autograph. If the more you're out there, the more you interact, the more you do, the more people want to support you. And now that you're not getting paid by NFL Network and ESPN, you've got to rely on that as your source of income. So I don't know that necessarily has the case. So here's the problem. The NFL keeping him suspended is making Michael Irvin's case. Because Michael Irvin can say, hey, look, because of what Marriott said, I'm no longer employed. I'm losing millions of dollars. Here it is. I missed the Super Bowl coverage, a whole week of that coverage. I missed the combine coverage. And last year, I was part of the coverage with, I can't remember her name right now, but he was interviewing the guys on the red carpet. He's not doing that. That's 3 nights of prime. Everybody wants to, the third night's not really prime. Okay, let's be clear here. Third night's not really. The first night and the second night, that's prime. The third Saturday, it's not quite as much. But regardless, this is now 3 major gigs, especially in the off season, that he's not part of. So the NFL, they're in a no-win situation. They help their partner out by saying he's still suspended, but you're making the case for Michael Irvin that could end up being $100 million. Okay? So the way they help out Marriott is actually by putting him on the telecast. But by putting him on the telecast, you make Marriott look bad. But you save him maybe $100 million. So it's like, what do you do, brother? What do you do? There is no solution for this one except maybe Marriott settling out of court. Because at some point, you got to look at it and say, live to fight another day. The publicity from this thing is not good. Let's pay Michael Irvin some money, let him get back to his gig and so on, and let's get rid of this thing. It's kind of like what Fox News did. They looked at, a billion, $1.6 billion, and they looked at that and said, you know what, let's give them half of that and just make this thing go away. We'll make it up. If they do that, because the bottom line is this. Marriott wants to be that sponsor for the NFL where they end up getting the money back because the NFL uses them as their corporate hotel. Okay? They don't want to mess that up. And at some point, you look at this and say, hey, maybe we give Michael Irvin $20 million and we let him get back to work. That's a lot better than possibly $100 million. But hey, what do I know? I'm a guy with a day job and a voodoo doll, and I'm kind of tired because it's been a long day. Got up at 5:30 this morning, drove down here, busted hump on the red brick house, just got back from eating, and definitely want to have a food coma. But as always, I appreciate you guys, and we'll see what happens here. I would love for Michael Irvin to get his place back because Michael Irvin is unique in the way that he brings it to you. He's incredible. And I want to see him back out there. All right. Peace out.